Hey, welcome back to another Marriage on the Run. So, if you've got some chaos, some conflict in your family, I want to point you to something called the drama triangle. It was discovered by some guy back in the 60s. I don't remember his name, but he said that there's typically three roles that family members will play when chaos, conflict happens. The first is the persecutor. They're the person that, pokes and prods and criticizes and doesn't talk very nicely and sometimes is kind of angry and is not very encouraging. And that's usually directed at the person that plays the role of the victim. And the victim has all kinds of excuses, all kinds of obstacles, kind of blame shifting, somebody else's fault. And then often from that, the third person that comes in is the rescuer. I'm walking across the street. That's why I paused there for a moment. The rescuer is the one that's most of the time will try to rescue the victim. Say, hey, persecutor, you're being a little bit too hard. Need to go a little bit easier, and that kind of thing. And this was definitely present in my family when my daughter was at home with us. We're now empty nesters, so it's not there anymore. But my wife, who was her stepmother, would often be the persecutor and the one kind of pointing things out and talking about how there needs to be consequences and not real happy with what she was seeing. And then typically my daughter would play the victim. A lot of times the way she played the victim is she just kind of goes silent. And then I would oftentimes be the rescuer. I was trying to find a way to mediate and to calm the tempers. But then sometimes the roles can change and they would change kind of like this. So I don't know if this happened real often, but then what would go on is I would be the one that would be upset, and I'd be upset with my wife, with Heather, and I would become the persecutor toward her and tell her she needed to back off and she needed to stop being so mean and, this, that, and the other. And then she might become the victim, and say, well, I guess I'm not wanted in this family. I guess nobody cares. I'm not heard. And then probably rarely my daughter could potentially be the rescuer and trying to be the mediator and trying to help kind of, again, calm the tempers. So what I'm getting at here is the drama triangle. It can definitely switch and change, and people can take on different roles, but they can become very unhealthy. And so the big thing for the persecutor is to obviously pepper in a lot of encouragement, specifically it's talk about the issue as the problem and not the person. The victim, can just take some responsibility, which is hard. If it's a child that's the victim, that's easier said than done. And then the rescuer can hopefully, if it's an adult trying to rescue a child, obviously the rescuer needs to work as best they can to be united with the other adult. But if it's a situation where it's three adults, then maybe they can be the more of the mediator to sit both people down to try to come to a better, more healthier solution. So I hope that helps you when you're in conflict in your family, and you can maybe think a little bit more about what role you typically play and how to be better and more healthy with that, and then think about what other roles that the other people are playing as well. I know this was a little bit longer, but I thought it was a good one. So hope that helps you. Take care until next time.